Hi, this is your Houston chiropractor, Dr. Gregory Johnson. We have Rodney down here all the way from Arkansas. How long did it take you to drive down here, Rodney?
About 7 hours.
7 hours. Came all the way down here from Arkansas to get the Johnson technique. So I'm going to entitle this video, "What is a ring dinger?" specifically, because there's been a lot of over the internet over the past several years since I introduced the ring dinger in 2013. There's been a lot of people trying to describe what the ring dinger is, however they don't even do it. So I'm not the inventor of this procedure. However, I have perfected it over the last 38 years of my career, and I want to thank Rodney for letting me explain all this. Bear with me on this, because there is a science, art, and philosophy behind using the manual Y-axis chiropractic adjustment to create a decompressed neural foramina. So that's exactly the intention that I have by adjusting people on the Y-axis. It moves everything from the occiput all the way down to the sacrum, 24 freely movable vertebrae in the spine from C1 down to L5. And I am cavitating the joints through their fullest range of motion. That's the cracking noises that you hear. Crack addicts, that's what y'all I'm referring to whenever I call y'all crack addicts, is cavitation. And that's when you open the joint up past the paraphysiological space to the maximum range of motion within the anatomical integrity of the ligament. So I'm going to explain what this is today, but I'm also going to tell you what it is not. So, and we're going to demonstrate that on Rodney today. He so graciously volunteered to do this for us. Let's have you flex your head forward and backwards now, Rodney. And I'll let him tell you his story too. In neutral. Well, it's looking a whole lot better than it was. Your head's still a little forward and just a little bit to the right. Pelvis is right down the middle though right now.
Yeah, I feel a lot better down there.
Yep. So Rodney, would you mind, before we get started with your adjustment, would you mind telling them why you came down here to Houston to get this technique done? Because you've had other procedures performed on you previously.
Yeah, I've been going to chiropractors for 18, 19 years.
Yep.
And it's the same thing. Go in, get your muscle stems, your heat packs, and they really don't ask any questions. It's just pop, pop, and you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike with you, you can ask a lot of questions. You're real thorough with your examination. Your adjustments are spot on, intense, full body from head to toe, and I don't get that at home.
Yeah.
So
He's wanting me to go up to Arkansas to train these chiropractors up there, but we'll be doing all of our training on the Johnson technique right here in Houston, so I don't have to ship our new table, which is being made right now, by the way. Should be done later this month. And then we'll introduce that to you as it comes available. Renee and I are headed to Davenport, Iowa on Thursday morning to go to Palmer College of Chiropractic's homecoming and see Tristan up there, and talk to the Palmer executives about bringing the Johnson chiropractic technique into the Palmer curriculum, as well as the scientific research that we are working on getting done on this technique. So we're actually doing a lot of things that are pioneering in the chiropractic profession, and one of them is actually getting a blinded study published in a refereed medical journal about the benefits of the Johnson technique. Now, critics are a dime a dozen. Most of the chiropractors out there on some of these social media forums like Reddit and Quora, they're saying that this is dangerous to people, that I shouldn't be doing this to people, but the chiropractors who have actually come here from all over the world and had this procedure done on themselves, and also my colleagues and friends here in the state of Texas who have had this done, they don't say those things about it anymore, because they saw the real deal in what this does in decompressing the neuroforaminal intervertebral foramen. And that's the little opening that is formed by vertebra above, the vertebra below and the disc in between. So we're taking compressive stress off the joints, the disc, and the IBFs, or the nerve openings. If you are living, breathing, and moving in gravity, and if you have a spine, then you need to get a chiropractic evaluation and an adjustment to help correct your vertebral subluxation complexes in through the spine. This manual spinal decompression of the neuroforaminal opening is a huge part of my technique, and I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is on the scientific research on it. So hopefully we can put to bed any rumors and unintelligent comments or conversations by other chiropractors around the world, and make this actually a standard of care in the chiropractic profession. So keep us in your prayers for that, because that's exactly what we're going to do. And I'm going to title this video, "What is a ring dinger specifically?" So just be watching for it. Okay, so I've already checked that out and know what's going on there. So just come over here first then, Rodney, right here. There you go. Yes, sir. It's a nice shirt. You want it like that? It's good, cool material for wearing here in Houston. There we go. Rodney, if I could get you to hold this upper part of the spine, because I don't want it to hit you in the face.
Okay.
What we're doing here is we have the patient lie supine on the table, and I put this plastic replica of the spine on here just for demonstration purposes. See the occiput's right here, that's the base of your skull. The atlas is directly underneath of that and articulates with the occiput and C2. Then you see all 24 vertebrae throughout the spine. There's 7 cervical vertebrae, 12 thoracic vertebrae, and 5 lumbar vertebrae. And then you get into the pelvis, which is made up of a right innominate bone called the ilium, the center bone called the sacrum, and a left innominate bone, which is also a ilium. So ilii is the plural of that. And what I'm doing is I am pinning in the top of the iliac crest. So if a person had a scoliosis, for instance, a curvature of the spine from the A to P analysis, and I nailed that in as a chain down here and I lifted it straight up, what would it do to that crooked chain? It would straighten it out. Now, is it going to stay there permanently? Probably not if you're sleeping wrong or sitting wrong or driving your vehicle wrong throughout the day, working on a computer like this 24/7 or texting all the time. So I'm not going to leave that on there while I adjust him. So I'm wrapping the towel around his cervical spine, but I'm not choking him. My contact comes at the base of the occiput with this wet towel, just like that. Feel that all the way down?
Yep, home run.
Home run, there you go. And looky there, he's still kicking. All right, wiggle your right big toe. There you go. Tilt right, wiggle your left ear. That's it, perfect.
Better.
We like specific chiropractors because a lot of their patients come here to see me so that they can get their entire body adjusted, as opposed to just a specific level. Okay, and the uniqueness about my ring dinger technique is that I'm pinning the iliac crest in and getting a straight vertical y-axis adjustment. It's not just a longitudinal traction like you see with a lot of these decompression machines. Yep, tightens up just a tad. And yes, I do the same Johnson technique adjustments on every single person because I do that with specific intention of cavitating and realigning each of the 24 freely movable vertebrae, as well as the 3 bones in the pelvis. But I also adjust shoulders, elbows, wrists, hips, knees, and ankles. Okay, there. Got one more here. All right. Legs are exactly even now, Rodney. This should feel easier than the previous one. Good deal. Yes, sir. Good. Okay. So a couple of things I also wanted to mention. I was going to tell you what the manual spinal decompression is exactly that, a chiropractic adjustment on the y-axis. It is good for any type of compressive, cumulative trauma, or just cumulative compression from living, breathing, and moving in gravity every day. And I'm adjusting all the other joints of the body because once you open a joint up to its fullest range of motion, achieving cavitation or the popping sound that you hear, every joint in the body is surrounded by a synovial capsular ligament, which has special neurological connections to those joints that feed information afferently from the part of the body I'm adjusting and into the cerebellum, which that information is then processed by the cerebellum and then returns out efferently to the body, reorganizing that patient's neurology. So like when I'm adjusting his wrists and his fingers, do you hear the cavitation there? I'm opening the joint up through its fullest range. Just relax that for me. Through its fullest range of motion. There. There we go. Got it there. Okay, let's stand you up here in front of the mirror. Okay. Now, let's have you close your eyes again and bend your head forward and backwards for me, please, sir. And then back to neutral. That's much better range of motion. See, your head's still just a tad that way, but we gave you those exercises to keep doing on that. That'll help take that compressive stress that you're feeling that's been causing your cervical radiculopathy out. So we're gonna pull these up and back. So there you go. Now we're gonna bring your head straight back. We're gonna translate you left and then look at the wall behind you. There you go, okay. Now try that very same thing again. Oh yeah. That should have felt like I put a little WD-40 in there. Yep, good deal. So I told everybody what this is, Rodney. I want to tell everybody what it is not. It is not a cure-all adjustment. I don't treat cancer. I don't treat bone pathology such as metastatic carcinoma that has metastasized to your spine. In fact, last week I turned away 5 new patients who came here with their diagnostics, and I diagnosed cancer on 2 of them. The other 3 had vascular atherosclerotic changes in their carotid and vertebral arteries, which that does not make them a good candidate for any kind of chiropractic adjustment, including the manual spinal decompression adjustment on the y-axis. So we referred them out to the appropriate physicians that we work with in the city of Houston here, the oncologists and orthopedics and neurosurgeons, so that they could get the appropriate medical care for their disease processes, which we do not treat chiropractically. Rodney, would you mind sharing your experience here at Advanced Chiropractic Relief versus what you've had done previously?
There's no comparison. I mean, it's been truly a good experience for me, and I don't regret it.
Great. So it's worth your trip coming down here?
I'm going to try to bring my wife down here next time.
Oh, there you go. So make this a family affair, huh?
Yep.
Good. Well, thank you for listening and watching and subscribing to our channel as always. This is your Houston chiropractor, Dr. Gregory Johnson, coming to you from Advanced Chiropractic Relief in Houston, Texas, where I specifically do the manual spinal decompression adjustment on the Y-axis that I have nicknamed the ring dinger. We'll see y'all soon.